My favorite book, Mr. Milburn, by the way, kindergarten, is The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson, about a little mouse who tries to trick other animals who are trying to eat him. So he's a very, like I said, slick, sly mouse, and he actually gets away with it at the end. And he creates this character called the Gruffalo, who scares off the other characters so they won't eat the mouse, because the mouse is saying that him and the Gruffalo are good friends. And he's like, the Gruffalo, there's no such thing as a Gruffalo, until one day he actually meets the real Gruffalo. So his slick talk and actually gets him out of that part of the story as well. So it's Gruffalo. I recommend it to all ages. And I hope
One of my favorite books is Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. This book is about a cat named Pete and his favorite pair of white shoes. And throughout the story, he gets his shoes very dirty with lots of different colors. But he does not worry about it the whole time. He just enjoys the journey of walking in his white shoes. This story is funny and it has a good beat to it. And also what I really like about it is that you can go on the website and you can download a song and a story to go with it, and you can sing along with Pete the Cat.
Hey boys and girls, today I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite books. It's A Bad Case of the Stripes by David Shannon. I love this book because it's all about being yourself. And the little girl in this book, when she's not herself, she gets a bad case of the stripes. I also love the illustrations in this book. This book is funny, it makes me laugh, and it teaches me a lesson. And those are some of my favorite types of books. I hope you'll check it out from our library.
Mr. Karen here with my favorite Dr. Seuss book, If I Ran the Circus. I love this book because it challenges me, because it's got so many tongue twisters. I've never read this book the whole way through without making a mistake. It's never happened, and I don't know if it ever will. But I like that. It challenges me. Also, it's just very imaginative. There's only two characters. There's a little boy who wants to start his own circus, and he's got a buddy, Sneelock. And Sneelock is like my favorite character in any book, because he basically, the boy tells him that he's going to do all these random things for his circus, and he ends up doing all these crazy little chores, and it's a pretty wild adventure. But I love it because it really just kind of, when I read a book, my body kicks back and relaxes, but my mind kind of gets to race off and go wherever my imagination can take it. So, but this is my favorite book, If I Ran the Circus by Dr. Seuss. Check it out. It is in our library, and I hope you like it too.
I'm here to introduce you to one of my favorite characters, Skippy John Jones. Skippy John Jones is a Siamese kitten boy, but he is not your average cat. When Mama Junebug Jones sends him to his room for time out, his imagination takes over. El Scapito becomes a Chihuahua and takes a journey with his friends. On his journey, he starts with a fiesta, takes a siesta, and encounters Alfredo Bazito, the Bumblebeeto Bandito. If you're ready for a fun adventure, then I recommend you check out Skippy John Jones by Judy Schaffner. It's muy bueno.
One of my favorite books is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Why? Because it provides an interesting perspective from the wolf's perspective. You understand? For the simple reason that, hey, who knows what really happened to the three little pigs? Alexander T. Wolf does.
I'm Miss Gilchrist, and this is one of my favorite books that I used to read when I was a kid. I've actually read the entire series of The Amazing Days of Abby Hayes, and these books are awesome. The first reason I even picked up this book when I was younger was just because this girl, she had purple streaks in her hair. My mom would never let me do that, so I automatically thought that was awesome. And then another great thing about this book is that it's written like a diary. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I definitely used to keep a diary. Until my little brother took it and tried to run around the house reading it, so kind of stopped. But this book I can definitely relate to. The character, her name's Abby, and she's really awesome, and she just talks about all her day-to-day activities in her life and at school, and just how she survives them. So if you want to know how to survive the rest of elementary school and maybe a little bit of middle school, you should definitely pick up one of the Amazing Days of Abby Hayes series.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Smith, your favorite principal, and I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite books, The Lightning Thief. This is the first book in a series by Rick Riordan and is called Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And Percy Jackson is a kid who gets in a lot of trouble, but it turns out he really has a cool secret. His dad is a Greek god. Can you believe that? And he can do all this cool stuff, and he goes on all these adventures, and you just need to check out the book to see what happens next. I would highly recommend any book that has Percy Jackson in it, but The Lightning Thief is definitely my favorite. Hope to see you reading soon.